Good morning again, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad. You're watching Firewood at the Furnace, and today we've got a couple things to get done. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so pardon my voice. The family had battled some sickness. I believe it was a strand of the flu. Brady tested positive for it about a week ago, leading up to Thanksgiving, and it went through the whole house. So I was the last one to get it. I'm still kind of getting over it. Wasn't too bad, but hopefully we're on the back side of it. But anyway, kind of gotten backed up because we had some rainy weather come through here. We had the holidays and of course the sickness, so I haven't had a chance to tackle this pile of rounds here behind me yet. So we're going to fill a trailer up, split some wood today with that. I've also got an update for you on the new bundle store, what we've got to do there because the wood is moving. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about costs of doing business. Had an unfortunate incident at a delivery the other day. I'm going to tell you about that too, so stick around. There's a little bit of everything in this pile here. Oak, cherry, locust, maple. So I'm not going, as we're splitting today and filling this trailer, I'm not going to try to separate the species. Just about all the wood that I deliver is mixed hardwoods anyway. I normally do try to separate the species as it comes into the yard, but at this time with the yard being so empty and trying to get restocked, we're just going to fill it up and fill these racks. I will get back to separating by species once I get this pile knocked down here. But I'm going to get the beam greased up on the 1222. Also, I want to show you something I changed here with the 1222. You can probably see it there. I noticed that after running it for a while, and I've had to do this a couple times, the tires eventually start to sink into the ground. You know, after it rains, the ground gets soft. The weight of the machine, the running of the machine, the vibrations cause the tires to sink down into the ground, and the right side actually was down almost to the rim. The entire bottom of the tire was sitting in the ground. So I jacked it up the other day and I put some boards underneath of it. So it's sitting a little higher again now, and hopefully that'll eliminate that. Put some boards underneath the stabilizer jack here in the front, make sure it's pretty level. And also under the conveyor there, you can see it's good to put a block of wood under there because as the crumbs accumulate underneath the conveyor while you're splitting wood, eventually the paddles will start to hit those crumbs, and you can, if something falls down in there, you can have something catch, break the shear pin, or stop the conveyor, stall the motor altogether. So I keep that jacked up off the ground there a little bit, and I keep a rake nearby, and every so often I just come through and rake out those crumbs. So if you notice that, I just wanted to tell you what happened there and why I did that. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing greased up, get it fired up, warmed up. We'll start doing some splitting. There we go, a full trailer loaded up for the wife. Valerie will get over here sometime this week and get this load stacked for me. She still enjoys stacking, so she likes to set up her radio, go back there by herself and just decompress. Put a little dent in the pile here. I think probably one more full trailer load here and this will be cleaned up. I got to tell you though, I'm a little disappointed. I did notice when we were cutting these rounds up that day with the excavator that there was some stuff that was a little questionable, but as I'm going through, I'm finding more than I thought was here. You see that piece of cherry right there is pretty punky in the middle. Threw that aside. I won't be processing that. Some of the ash is a little questionable. So anything that I come across that I see that isn't up to par, I'm just tossing it aside. So there is a good little bit of that in there. You can see here, I won't know until I bust this open. This is another piece of cherry. It might be okay. Once we get inside, we'll take a better look at it. And anything that's not up to par will go away. Let me take you over here and tell you a little bit about the mishap I had this week while making a delivery. It's a lesson that I learned the hard way, and maybe I can prevent one of you from having to learn the same lesson. So the problem that I had at my delivery this week involves this right here. The old spare tire on the dump trailer. And fortunately I had one with me because I was delivering 2 full cord. I had the double board stacked up on the trailer again like I showed you in a previous video. But I had 2 full cord stacked on the trailer, so it was a little heavy. And when I got to the customer's house, I backed into her driveway. She met me outside and showed me where she wanted the wood dumped. Now I had to back through a gate, a wooden fence gate, down a trail and around a corner to where she had a pavilion set up in her backyard, and she wanted the wood dumped right next to the pavilion that would be easier for her to carry up to stack. So normally what I would do in that situation is assess whether or not I can access the area where they want me to dump, and then if I have to make a little variation or can't get it exactly where they think they want it, I will explain to them why and where I can put it and make sure that's okay. So I was comfortable with getting it down through the gate and around the corner to the pavilion, and told her that wouldn't be a problem. I could dump it right alongside her pavilion. I did notice that there was a small flower bed just off to the right side of the driveway backing through the gate, and I saw she had some landscaping ties outlining the flower bed. And I told her, I said, I'm probably going to have to cut the corner there a little bit with the trailer and go over top those landscaping ties. Is that okay? And she said, yep, no problem. You can back through the flower bed there. It's not a big deal, whatever you need to do. So that's what I did. Where my mistake came into play was that before I backed through the gate, I didn't walk the area where I was going to go dump. And that's something that I normally do. I looked at it, thought everything looked good, got in the truck and started backing up. So as I steered the trailer across the corner of the flower bed and up over the landscaping ties, I was thinking to myself, I'm right on target, backing up good, everything looks good, I'm going to end up right where she wants it. Back it in, get out of the truck to open the tailgate to get ready to dump the load, and I hear psh, and I'm like, oh gosh, I got a tire going down. So I look around the trailer, and on the left side where I had backed over those landscaping ties, the rear tire of the trailer had a hole and was gushing air out of it. So I said, man, I must have ran over something. So now I start walking back up where I backed through, which I should have done in the first place, and where those landscaping ties were laid out, there was rebar drilled through those landscaping ties to hold them in place in the ground. And one of those pieces of rebar was sticking up about 3 inches. And wouldn't you know it, my tire found that piece of rebar and it punched a hole right through the tire. So luckily, I had my Vitamin air pump / jump pack with me and a plug kit. So I didn't have to change the tire right there. I simply put some air in the tire, put a plug in it. But because that piece of rebar was a little bit too bigger than a plug, I had to double plug it, and it still wasn't holding very well. But it was enough to get me home. So once I got home, I did change the tire and tried to re-plug this one. It's holding air at the moment, but I don't really trust it to have weight on it. So I'm probably going to have to go ahead and bite the bullet and get a new spare tire. But the lesson here for you all is no matter how nice of an area it looks like you need to back into to dump where a customer wants you to, you've never been there before. I had never been there before. So just take the time and walk through the yard and assess the situation even if everything looks okay. That's a hard lesson for me to learn, but I'll know from now on and hopefully won't make that mistake twice. But now let's get over to the bundle station because I need to make some bundles, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of an update on the bundle store situation. So it's only been about 2 or 3 weeks since we delivered those 40 bundles to our new retail store that we're supplying. And I was in there just the other evening, and of the 40 bundles, they had 7 left. So I am anticipating that they will be calling probably tomorrow or Tuesday to replenish their supply. Now normally Taylor makes these bundles, but she is shopping, Christmas shopping with her mother today. And although we are a little bit ahead on the bundles, I need to make sure we have a supply. So when they call for their 40 bundles, we are ready to go. Right now there's 36 bundles in stock. So I want to make some so that I can take the 40 bundles and still have some left for the driveway stand. I'm only going to make enough right now to get me through in case that phone call comes in, because this is Taylor's job. This is how she makes a little bit of extra money, and I don't want to take that away from her. But what I wanted to kind of relay here is that it appears every 3 weeks or so is going to be when they're placing an order for 40 bundles. And it may slow down a little bit through the winter. I'm sure it will. But once spring gets here, I kind of got to keep in mind how quick they are selling them. So that is the goal now, is to keep bundle production geared up a little bit. And I told you a few videos back that that was going to kind of be a goal for this year, was to grow the business in the area of bundles. And it appears that we are already doing that. So I'm going to make a few bundles here real quick, and then tomorrow Taylor will come over here and take over. Well, I got a few bundles made here just in case they call before Taylor can get over here to restock us. But don't forget, tomorrow night is Thirsty Thursday. Hope you can join us there. And if you've made it this long in the video, then I will tell you that tomorrow night's trivia question on the live stream is going to come out of this video, so y'all can study this video. But I'm going to get these put away and anticipating that phone call. So I will see, for those of you who are going to attend the live stream tomorrow night, I will see you then. If you're not going to be on the live stream, we'll be back here on Friday morning at 7 a.m. for your first Friday's video. The countdown is on for Christmas. Friday is December 1st. The first Friday, so that'll be your bonus video. I'll either see you tomorrow night or early Friday morning. Until then, hope you all have a good day. Take care.